3 weeks into the season, 3 meets into the season. What have you seen so far that you've liked out of your team?
Well, the first 2 meets were a little rough, I would say, in terms of just kind of shaking off the rust, and we went in with some. I mean, we always go in early season meets with these huge expectations. Our athletes, we tell them, hey, let's just a practice meet, and they go in with big expectations, and they're let down. And when it's December 8th or whatever our first meet was, I mean, some of our kids really left that meet not feeling good about how it went, because for some of our freshmen, when we have 35 freshmen on the team, for them, that's their whole high school year was our fall training, three months, and so for them to not go out and PR at that meet or do really well, that was kind of a letdown for them. And I talked to them after the meet, and I said, hey, what's the date today? And I said, when is our conference championships? And look how long we have to prepare for that. And then, we had Christmas break, and, I think our kids did a tremendous job of training over break. I mean, that's the big thing when you take 2.5 weeks and send them home with workouts. You hope that, they're dedicated enough to take that serious. And looking at our across the board, I would say that we did a really good job at that, because we came back that first Mankato meet and our performances were better, and it was something to build off of, and people came away with some more confidence. And then this past weekend at Dort, it was a huge confidence booster for many of our freshmen. They're starting to see kind of the fruition of what they've been doing, and they're getting used to running on a 200-meter track, and what that entails, and they're just getting kind of used to the competition. A lot of the freshmen are kind of eyes wide open that first meet when they see some of the sprinters in our league, and some of the jumpers and some of the throwers. Some of those freshmen came away like deer in the headlights, and so now they're getting used to that. And this last meet at Dort, we had I think we had 11 top 10 performances for our team, which is incredible. Anytime you have over 10 all-time top 10 performances, you're doing pretty well. And then we had 8 event winners. We had 1 event winner, which is pretty cool. We had 1 event winner in every single event group, whether it was our sprints, our jumps, our throws, our distance, our pole vault. We had an event winner in all of those. So there won't be many meets we go to that'll probably happen. So we kind of are hanging our hats on that.
And speaking of pole vault, you guys have what you're known for here a little bit, and the women, they're on the top 4 marks in Division II, and the men are right behind them with Grand, Greenman, and Jensen right there. Where do you see them developing, your pole vaulters, moving up from such a good start to the season?
We actually moved back. We've been on shorter runways, and we've actually moved back a step, and so hopefully that will just help our guys and gals to bring a little bit more speed. So considering what step they're on, and as early it is on the season, I just expect more. I expect Scott to improve. I told him yesterday, don't think about just qualifying for nationals. Think about being in the top 3, top 1, and for Kimmy to come out and do what she's done as a freshman, pretty awesome. I said in one of my quotes, I've never seen a girl so raw go so high in my coaching career, and that's the truth. And I'm excited once she learns just our system and the things that runway mechanics and things like that. It's going to be exciting to see her get better as time goes on. And then with Courtney, Courtney and Sophie, they both are in great positions to be able to go to the national meet and contend for All-American spots. And I still see things in practice that I'm like, wow, if we fix these things, we're going to be jumping way higher. And so I just feel like, we have a good pole vault program here at USF, and that's a huge part to Coach Brooks and to Coach Ulrich and the coaches that we've had, but it's the catalyst for the rest of our team. We want the rest of our team to see what the pole vaulters are doing and believe that they can compete at the level that they're competing at. And so those guys are driving, motivating factors for the rest of our team, and that's what we want. That's what I expect from the rest of our team is where we want to come as a program, is where the pole vault is, and I believe it's possible with the kids that we have here. And so it's exciting to see those kids in the pole vault where they're at, but I also know in our other event areas we're going to have some kids coming and some kids knocking on that provisional door, and once some of our freshmen get going in the jumps and some of our freshmen in the sprints, it's going to be pretty exciting.
And with provisional marks, Jordan Bentz has 2. He's been to a number of national meets already, NCAA championship meets, and he's had a pretty good start to this season. He broke his own school record in the weight throw earlier. And what next step does he have to take? Because he's sitting right on the edge of really qualifying. Where does he have to go from here?
Well, it's been tremendous to see. I mean, what Coach Aaron Elder did with him, bringing him to the level that he's at, and now with Coach Way coming in and stepping in and coaching him. Coach Elder took him to a certain point, a very high caliber, and I believe that Coach Way is taking him to that next step. I mean, he's putting up weight in the weight room. I think he said over Christmas break he put up 545 in the squat like 5 times. I mean, just ungodly amounts of weight that he's throwing around, more than he has ever had. I just think he's just gotta enjoy the process a little bit, and I know what his goals are. His goals are high, and it's not just to get to the national meet; it's to be on the podium. And so I feel like though he just needs to focus on the process a little bit more, and not put pressure on himself, and it's going to happen because he's got all. I mean, just in terms of fitness-wise and being, I mean, just his level of where he's at physically to be able to PR and go out and throw big, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when and what meet it is, and he's just got to, like I said, enjoy that process, and getting to know Coach Way's style of coaching is going to help as time goes on. So.
And another person who's hit a provisional mark early in the season, Catlin Sawtell, just crushed in the pentathlon the first meet. And so how do you approach it knowing someone performs so well and you don't want to peak too early? What's her step to continue this process, knowing that she'll most likely that mark will get her in, and then she could easily compete for a conference championship in the pentathlon?
Yeah. I mean, she went out that SDSU meet, the early season meet. I mean, this was before Christmas break, and I mean, they had some just awesome marks. I mean, 5.4 in the high jump, 17.9 in the long jump, 8.99 in the hurdles. I mean, just PR type performances when we were not at a point in our season to be able to have those PRs. And so I think she's 4th in the nation right now, and so I mean, we're going to actually hold her out this weekend from the multi up at Mankato. We feel like we've positioned her good enough to at the national level, and let's gear up for the conference championships, and let's get ready for those. And this is kind of a unique thing about Catlin. I mean, she's probably the best all-around athlete that I have ever seen at USF in the 8 years I've been here. I mean, she went out and won the 200 at Dort, and she came back and got 8th in the shot put. Amazing. I mean, to be able to do that, and it speaks volumes for the type of athlete that she is. And I mean, she at the conference meet will help us in the multi-event. She's going to help us in the hurdles, the sprints, the jumps, the long jump and the high jump. I mean, she's our go-to girl, and just getting her ready for the end of the season is kind of in our sights now, and getting her ready to peak when it counts.
And so you mentioned you're holding her out, but what are some things we can look forward to at the Minnesota State multi and open this weekend? Are there somebody you have your eyes on?
Yeah, we got the Brockmullers, so they're going to be running this weekend. This is going to be kind of their debut for the season. So they didn't run last weekend at Dort, so that'll be fun to see them. I'm not real sure what they run. I think they might be both in 1,000 meters, but that's going to be exciting to see them compete and run. Again, our throwers are coming off they swept the women's shot put at Dort. A number of girls over 40 feet, so it's going to be exciting to see what they can do. This weekend, our jumpers had a big weekend at Dort. It's going to be exciting to see what they do with another week of practice underneath their belts. And then, I mean, our sprinters are rested up this week. They actually took a little easier week and are hoping for some little bit more peak performances. We're putting like Trey Ferguson in the 4 and Savannah Dalzell in the 4 events that they haven't run up to this point. And we're just going to kind of see where they fall. So, hopefully Jordan can go out and hit some marks that he hasn't hit this year, and hopefully Scott can do the same thing. And so it should be a good meet. It's going to be one of the biggest meets that we see all year, other probably than the SDSU meet that we're going to go to in February. So.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend, and we'll catch up next week.
All right, thanks a bunch.